Hi everybody, how you doing on this beautiful Friday night from Puerto Rico? It's the weekly hibernation podcast. Well, so you know, so on this podcast we got obviously first of all I got some announcements to make, and then we got not one, not two, but we got 3 book reviews that we're going to be doing. So after my announcements, I'm going to be reading out Elaine's reviews of the first book, which is going to be The Dark Side of Sunset Point by Michael and Scott. And and on a side note, me and Michael and Scott have become pretty good friends. Not pretty good friends, but we've gotten to know each other a little better on Twitter. So shout out to Michael and Scott. The second book would be Midnight Exposure by Melinda Ney, which was also reviewed by Elaine Emmerich, which is my official reviewer on the Hibernation. In fact, all these reviews are from her. And the final book that we're going to be reviewing is Thinking of the Children by Kerry Wilkinson. So we got an all-star lineup here. I hate to kind of give it away, but if you found a Hibernation, you know us pretty well. We try to get the good books out there, so we know what you should be reading. We try not to put any bad reviews out there. We try to tell the authors how they could improve the story, so we only put good reviews. So that's what's on the lineup today. So let's get it started, and let's see what I have up my sleeve. So obviously the 1,000 Years War, my first book, got up to the top 100 charts in the time travel and video game adaptations in Britain. So thank you, my British fans. I made my week, and I got very close to the top 100 in the United States. But the United States is a much harder market, but it's still selling well, and it's only 99 cents. So if you want to grab a copy of my 1,000 Years War book, and I promise and video game nerds, sci-fi nerds, you're gonna absolutely love the 1,000 Years War. Only 99 cents or $12.99 for the paperback. But the Kindle has been sending my hotcakes. I think I sold close to 30 copies of that alone. I think I've gotten close to about 80 copies sold this month. So, But and of course, the big one is Angel's Nightmare 2, which is coming out on a Tuesday. My newest book, Angel's Nightmare 2, is coming out, and pre-orders have been okay. It could be better, but obviously everybody's still catching up to the first book, which is Angel's Nightmare 1, which is still 99 cents. So, cop that up for a great weekend read. All my books, will make great weekend reads, but the two I think you're gonna have the most fun are the 1,000 Years War and Giannis the Devil's in Action. Those are gonna be your weekend reads, from me. Also the ones that I've been taking at home. The 1,000 Years War has 45 reviews, only 5 more to the magical 50 for Amazon. So come on, so keep on getting people. And Giannis is about 34 reviews, in only 2 months. So it's done pretty well. Oh, and by the way, for those who have been following, or those who may not have been following, Giannis the Devil's in Action is getting an audiobook. Yes, my offer was accepted by my producer. So, my producer's got the manuscript, he's going over the characters, so hopefully we have the audiobook maybe by the end of September, maybe earlier. Obviously this is a tentative, but I think sometime in late September, early October, the audiobook should be out, hopefully. So, so if you enjoy reading Giannis, you're going to enjoy hearing it too. So, obviously updates will be coming, and I'm working on a new knit RPG book, the 1,000 Years War, Mice Beach, which is a spin-off for the 1,000 Years War series, which is going to be using more video game mechanics, and I'm going to have a post on that later. A nice little advertisement, nice little post going over the details. Alright, so sit back and let's start the book reviews. And of course, on Starting up on the lineup are the leadoff man, The Dark Side of Sunset Point by Michael Ann Scott. Review by Elaine Emwick. Alright, so let's just give you a little bit of a background of the story. This book is basically visions of murders before they happen. Basically, something like a Minority Report. Where John Anderson has to is working with this police department that's able to predict that before it happens, predict crimes before it actually happens. Yeah, so same idea. Visions of murder before they happen. Obviously, he's not working. This is just visions in his head before they happen. It's a curse. Nance Underfall was devastated by his wife's death, and now the down-and-out freelance photographer can't let her go. He makes her prey by premonitions. The double shooting of an Arizona real estate developer and his mistress, which immerses him in a world psychic phenomenon. Dark, different, and based on real-life events, this genre-stunning murder mystery will supposedly keep you guessing. So, Michael Ann Scott's actually, looking for, a thriller mixed with some paranormal, sounds sweet, right? So this was an Elaine star. She gave characters a perfect 5 out of 5. She felt the main characters were believable, and yet they were flawed. They had their flaws, which made them more believable. The main character's a photographer and suffer personal loss. He has supernatural abilities. That's something that I claim to have, as a medium. I'd be for another subject, another discussion. And and he's trying to understand why he's having so many visions, so many things in his head. Detective Frank Salmon is trying to solve multiple murders and is getting help by the main character, Nance. Lacey Fields is a freelance reporter and his boss. And she's also, the Detective Frank's girlfriend. Alright, so you got a little bit of the characters. Now let's see how the plot did. Elaine gave it a 5 out of 5. By the way, I haven't read any of these books. This is all based on Elaine's thoughts, since she's the official reviewer. I do reviews on occasion, but because I'm been so busy on projects, I'm having her do the reviews, at this point, until I can catch up, which I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. So sorry if I haven't got to you yet. The plot, she gave it a perfect 5 out of 5. The story's about two men who own a development company. They are borrowing money from banks and loan sharks, and they can't pay it back. Things begin to fall apart for the two, and then Nance, the main character, the protagonist, has visions of the killings but doesn't know what to do. Sonia, which is the name of his dead wife, talks to him, guiding through this. He's not too sure what to make, of it, but he trusts her. He speaks with the detective and obviously the detective thinks he's totally nuts. But there's something about Nance that makes Frank listen to him, and as more people die, Nance and Frank are running out of time to find a killer. Elaine found it rather easy to read, no hours, so we're gonna just skip over that and get to the ending, which she gave it a 5 out of 5. This ending she felt was full of surprises. She couldn't believe who the killer turned out to be. To see some of the characters come to the point of desperation and hopelessness, it's sad. But when Nance is finally at peace, you can finally begin a new life. And so obviously not going to spoil the ending, so no spoiling this, guys. He's just going to have to pick up a copy of your book. I plan to, in the long term future, right? So this book earned a rating on our official scale of a 5 out of 5. So congratulations to Michael Ann Scott, and glad to meet you yesterday. And she's looking forward to reading the rest of the series. Alright, so that's book 1. Now we're going to book 2, which is Midnight Exposure by Melinda Naig, also reviewed by Elaine Elwick. And this book has two hikers disappearing from the whole town in Maine. Everybody is blaming the storms, but the truth is far more sinister. Unaware of the danger, a photographer, Jane, follows an anonymous tip to find the most reclusive sculptor in the art world. Instead, she finds a handyman named Reed Kimball, and a small town full of fatal secrets. 5 years ago, Reed buried his homicide detective career along with his wife, but when a hiker is found dead, a local police chief asks him for help. Why was a Celtic coin found under the body, and where's the second hiker? Desperate to avoid the media, Weed, doesn't need a murder, a missing person, or a noisy photographer until Jane's attack, and he realizes that her courage is his undoing. We must risk everything to protect her and find and cutting Kenner. So another one of these, juicy mystery thrillers. Elaine said the characters are believable, real people. Obviously, as I read in the description, Jane is a tabloid photographer, a survivor of an assault, and she's trying to rebuild her life. Meanwhile, Reed Kimball has a dirty little secret that he doesn't want to share with anyone. She gave the plot a 5 out of 5, which I kind of read it already. But the big and I think the big question that this book is going to leave you is: Reed and Jane both have secrets. Will they be able to share with each other, or the secrets too sinister to share? And will they have to find out the hard way? No, obviously the book is well written. Obviously, we're going to give it a 5 out of 5. So, Elaine felt that the ending was absolutely thrilling. It's a non-stop page-turning ending. When you find out who the killer is, it will surprise you. It's a story of suspense, love, and redemption. So there's a new hint there: redemption, revenge. So this is the first book. So overall, 5 out of 5. Congratulations! But this is the first book of 4 in the Midnight series. So Elaine is obviously going to be reading the rest of the series. So hopefully we're going to have the reviews up at a later time when she's done. So stay tuned. And our final book that we're going to be reviewing is Thinking of the Children by Kerry Wilkinson. The Detective Sergeant Jessica Daniel is first on the scene as a stolen car crashes on a misty, wet Manchester morning. The driver is dead, but the biggest shock awaits her when she discovers the body of a child wrapped in plastic in the boot of the car. As she struggles to identify the driver, a thin trail leads her first to a set of clothes buried in the woods, and then a list of children's names abandoned in a nightmare shed. When another child from this goes missing, she is desperate to find them, but in order to do so, she must crack open the secrets of a case that has been unsolved for over 14 years. So, another mystery there. It seems we've got a bit of a thing with the name. She loves mystery. So, if you're a mystery author, I'm thinking, the Hybrid Nation may be the place for you to come and talk to Elaine about getting your book reviewed. So Elaine, these are her thoughts about the characters. They're believable, and it's not a tragedy in the story. Jessica Daniel works at the non-site police department. The detective constable, David Rollins, is Jessica's partner. Adam Compton is her boyfriend. Toby Whitaker is a boy who went missing 14 years ago and presumed dead. Noe Corus is a missing 11-year-old. Isaac Hutchings is an 11-year-old found dead. So these are all the main characters in the book that she's going over. I might, excellent job with that review of the characters. And the plot is a story. It's about this 11-year-old that goes missing, who was found in the dead of a trunk of a crashed car, like I read in the description. And all this leads her to a huge, tale of, can of worms that, she needs to open up from over 14 years ago. And then, and in the midst of the case, Jessica reconnects with Adam, her boyfriend from years ago. She wants to apologize for what happened last year, so they, get together, they reconcile, and she sees a happier side to her life. Jessica and David found a shed from a map and the key from the crashed car, and they find a whole list of boys' mates that have gone missing. And then a 14-year-old named Noe Corus is kidnapped, and his mate was on the list as well. So it's basically a race against time to try and locate him, and also trying to put the pieces together to find the killer. So as for the ending, she thought it was unbelievable. She didn't see it coming. She was absolutely shocked by who killed the kid. The last chapters were page-turning. She couldn't put it down. And Jessica finally puts things together and does a few things illegally to set the trap to entrap the killer. Without giving the ending away, when the killer walked into the shed, she was shocked. And Elaine was shocked. The killer confesses, and when asked why he did it, it's a very sad resolution. So although you're happy because the guy got caught, but you're sad because the reason he did it was despicable at best. So overall, this is book 4 in the Detective Jessica Daniels series, and she read the 3 previous books. And Kelly Wilkinson doesn't disappoint, so congratulations, you're on a 5 out of 5 on the official scale. So those are the book reviews. So to recap, those are your book reviews. So I hope you heard the names, so you can go pick up a copy of those books for the weekend. So you know some good reads that you should be going after. Along with my books, and then of course don't forget, if you're a horror fan, Angel Nightmare Adventure 2 is coming out on Tuesday. So I think that's gonna do it here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Of course, I got some new subscribers, so thank you for subscribing to the Hybrid Nation, and I hope you guys enjoy your Father's Day weekend with that special someone, maybe who's your father. And I'm sure I'm gonna be doing something special with my father. We're going out with family, friends, spend some time, so it's gonna be fun. So I hope you guys enjoy your Father's Day weekend, and God bless all of you guys. All right, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Native.